Need some paper, and we'll have it portrait, so tall and skinny, and a pencil, a couple of paint brushes, not real big ones unless you're going to be using, big paper. I've got a round brush here, and then I've got a flat one here. And I'm going to get another flat one because I don't like this one. Okay, that's better. A marker, black marker. Mine is an ultra fine, so it's a pretty skinny one. Some water for your watercolors, some paper toweling, and then a set of watercolors. Okay, so we're basically going to, for the firecrackers, we're going to draw 3 cylinders. Now again, I'm going to be using my black marker. You can do your first drawing with the pencil and then trace over it. Okay, so we're going to have 3 long cylinders. Okay, and so we're going to start by doing the top and the side, and these don't have to be particularly straight because they're firecrackers, not made of something like glass or anything like that. And so then you want the same curve at the bottom as you do at the top, and then we're going to do the top like that. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to make a little shorter, and we're going to have it squished down a little bit. Again, don't get too fussy about your straight lines. And we're going to have a curve at the top and at the bottom. And then, because this one's a little squishy, we're going to make this line a little curvy too. So that's number 2. And then the third one, we're going to make a little taller than the other 2, and we're going to make the bottom set back a little bit more. So we're not going to have it, and this is just for good composition. It's more visually interesting if you don't have them all lined up, in the same line and the same height. And I like to draw in 3s because it's a nice balanced number. All right, so those are your 3 cylinders, and then we need to do the fuse, and so those are just going to be curvy lines. Go, and we're going to make each one of these different again so that it makes an interesting composition, and then you're going to go right down in the middle of our firecrackers, and that's it for the drawing. Pretty easy, huh? So turn off this video if you need more time to do your drawing, and then, like I said, use your markers to trace, and then we're going to get rid of our pencil lines. When you're drawing, make sure that you draw lightly, don't bear down on that pencil. Okay, so we're going to clean this up a little bit, get rid of our eraser dust. Go. Trash can. Okay, so when you're ready to start painting, get out your water. I'm going to put my water up over here, and then my paints. And we're not going to use very many colors because it's the good old red, white, and blue. So we're going to start working on this one. And we're just going to do diagonal stripes. Trying to see if I like. I guess I need to buy myself some new brushes. These aren't in the best of shape. Here, let me try this one. Sorry about that. Need to make a trip to the art supply store. Alright, so we're going to start with our red. And you want to choose a nice bright red. And we're going to start with just diagonal lines. So we're going to go from the top. And then we're going to go down a little bit. Do another stripe. Pick up some more paint. Go down a little bit. Do another stripe. And try to keep the angle of your stripes the same as you go down. And they can be a little curvy too. No big deal. And then we can go back and kind of make it go to the side on both ends. And you can use the edge of your brush if you want. Go again like that. And then we're going to put some red at the top. There you go. So we've got our diagonal stripes. And then we're going to get a nice, so make sure you clean out your brush well. And we're going to pick up a nice navy blue. And we're going to do the same thing. You don't need to have your colors touch because that'll give us the white. Some more paint when you need it. We do want our colors to be nice and bold. Go over this one again because it wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be. Again, go back and make your stripes get to the edge. And then we're going to finish that off like that. All right. So we're going to stick with the same colors, but we're going to do a different design on this one. So instead of diagonal stripes, we're going to do up and down stripes, but we're going to leave, we're going to be more like dashes, and then we're going to put something in the white spot there. So we're going to go down, we'll strap like that. So they're vertical. Don't want to, again, we're trying to not be, just have the dashes all line up at the same thing. So see how I made one gap here and another one up here and down. And then you want to take these down to the edges as well. Oops, back to my red. Do a little bit of red. There. And then we're going to put a red short dash here in the white area. Okay, so that's number 2. And then we're going to go back to our red, and we're going to kind of outline on the inside with our red. So we're just going to kind of go right inside the lines that we've already sharpied. Again, don't get too fussy if you go across the line, or this is supposed to be a loose sort of painting style. Okay, and then we're going to do a little more. There we go. Now we're going to go back to the blue, so clean out your brush, and we're going to do just kind of splotches of blue. And if it picks up a bunch of the red, you'll need to clean out your brush before proceeding. Again, they're all just kind of random. And you can make some a little bit bigger than others. I'm going to go back and make these a little more splotchy. Okay, so now we're done with our containers. So the next thing we're going to do is pick up our small round brush. And we're going to be working with the red. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to come up here, and we're going to have like the sparkler kind of effect here. So we're going to start in the middle, and you're just going to do quick, not all the same size, but quick little brush strokes. You can make some of them littler, this one a little bit taller. Okay, so it looks like it's on fire. And then you're going to do the same thing with this next one, with the middle one. So again, start and go up, out with quick marks, and then you can go back with some smaller ones. There you go. And I think so. You can look back to see if you like your composition. to do here. Again, from the center out, quick. There we go. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to take a fairly large brush and we want to get lots of water on it. And we're going to go to our blue again, and we're going to get it kind of soupy. Make sure you can see that. We're getting kind of soupy, and then we're going to flick it so it has spots all over your paper. Now these will take a little bit to dry. Okay, so we're going to do it with the blue, and then we're going to do the same thing with the red. So the key is to get enough water on your brush. I want to make sure I don't have any red left. So get enough water on your brush, get it pretty soupy, and then you hit it against your finger. Now this obviously is going to make a mess on the table, but it's watercolor. So it's going to be A-okay. And just make sure that you keep moving around so that you can, all right. And then we're going to clean up our table while it's wet with some paper toweling. And no one will ever know that we were very messy. Okay, so you want to leave this flat to dry because this will start running, and that's not the effect that we want. So lots of things that you practice today: control of your brush, making different brush strokes, tapping and spattering, and we reviewed a little bit about the composition so that it is an interesting painting. So again, make sure that you let these dots dry before you take them back to your home. Take care.